Now there's a time for a chat between
Yes.
Alia and me. And since I'm the host, I get to ask the first question.
Why? Okay, first
Okay,
let's discuss
okay.
what we're going to be talking
Okay.
about.
Some stuff which I want to know
Yeah.
about the world that I don't know about.
And some stuff that I want to know.
Correct. About stuff that hopefully I can answer. So I don't know the glamour world. Okay, I'm an author, and before that I was in financial services for 14 years, as drab and boring as they come. So don't laugh when I ask this question.
Okay.
What is this airport look? ये क्या होता है?
Okay, first let's say right now we're going to be bursting all the myths.
Okay.
So I'm going to be asking you question and you can burst my myths.
Okay.
And now you want to know about airport looks,
ये
right?
क्या है?
Airport look is your look when you're going to the airport.
Which is
And
comfortable.
It's comfortable, but it has to be fashionable, because while you're strutting down the airport, it's almost like you're strutting down the ramp.
Okay.
So why shouldn't you be fashionable? That's all the airport look is about.
It's a little bizarre.
But actually now it's gone to another spectrum altogether. It's no longer airport look. It's coming out of restaurant look. It's going into gym look. It's coming out of house look. It's going into restaurant look. So basically there always has to be a look.
You know, I had my most bizarre experience. And you know, I don't attend too many pastry parties or anything, but I attended Karan's birthday party. And that was a red carpet thing. I'm not
This
used to it.
page 3 party is another problem.
Okay.
What do you mean by page 3
Okay,
party?
sorry, I take that back. But I attended this party. It was a red carpet thing, and one of the few times I attended one. And I entered, and this journalist came up with a camera and thrust the mic on my face and said, "Who are you wearing?" I thought maybe her English isn't good or something. So I said, "I'm sure you meant what are you wearing?" And I said, "I'm wearing a pair of jeans and a jacket." No, I didn't know I'm supposed to answer what designer. I'm an author. Yeah, if my trousers and socks match, that's good enough.
That's okay, but you can be wearing, like, I wear Topshop or, you know, H&M. It doesn't have to be like Dior. It can be anything. Basically,
I have no
who are
idea.
we wearing? We want to know so that we can put this lip together if we want to.
Ah. Okay, so something I've learned. Your turn.
My turn?
Your turn.
Okay, so I've heard that, at least that's the way I imagine it, that when writers write, they like lock themselves up in a room and, you know, they don't talk to anybody, and it's
Grow
like,
their beard.
you know, grow their beard, and they're very antisocial, because once you're writing,
Okay.
and there's something called like a writer's block, and you don't want to reach that block. So tell me, is it true, like when you write, are you not like able to socialize? Do you have to put your phone off? Do you have to disconnect? What is it like? I'm sure it's different for everybody, but I want to know from you.
One of the good things about being a writer is you can get away with a lot of shit, because you can pretend that, oh, I'm this writer type, and you know, I'm not gonna do all this, and people expect
So
it.
you use it as an excuse.
Exactly. I'll tell you what I need for my writing. Anyway, I don't really party too. I party too much. I party more with my family and close friends. I don't really go for too many parties. But while writing, what I need, I listen to music while writing. I always need music. It works like a key. So any genre.
And do you have like a special time in the day, like you can only write in the morning or you can only write in the night? Like there are some people who can only make music in the night.
No, I'm normally a morning person. After 9:30, 10, my brain stops working. I'm normally asleep by 10:30, 11. Yeah.
Lovely.
Boring,
And wake up
sorry.
at?
5:30 normally. I'm a morning guy.
Kuch to seekho. Wow. I would love to wake up at 5:30, but absolutely. Even if I sleep at 10:30, I'll wake up at 10:30.
My wife works better at night. So there, you know, if she has to do something important, she'll stay up till late. So what happens sometimes is if she has some important work and I have important work, she'll be up till 4 o'clock and she'll be coming back and I'll wake up and, you know, so we run into each other.
This is called equality. Balancing out. Great. Love it.
And I eat a lot of cream biscuits while writing. That always works. Music, cream biscuits. I tend to put on weight while writing. My turn.
Yes.
Okay. This is a question which I had thought of, and I thought it will be very apt for you actually. You know, people believe that commercially successful movies cannot have, you know, strong social messages. That you apparently have to choose between the two. I've seen in many of your movies, you've actually managed to balance it. How do you pick your roles? How do you work this out? I loved yours interview.
Thank you. That's very sweet of you. Again, I feel that, you know, this whole thing of at least now commercial and this is again a big myth, because I feel like a good film will be a commercial film.
Right.
And most of the time the film doesn't fail you, the budget fails you. So if it's a good film but you made it in a strangely large budget, you have to keep that in mind. Because you'll always recover the cost. The commercials is what? How much money it makes at the box office? Do you recover the cost? Do the producers make the money back? Of course you can make the money back.
This sounds like a boardroom presentation.
But it's true. I feel very passionately about this because I feel like there's no such thing as a commercial film. There's a good thing and a bad. There's a good film and a bad film.
I agree.
And commercial success is basically to make that money back.
True.
That's basically what it is. So it's a different science, but for me, it's a good film. It's not the ye commercial picture hai, ye art picture hai. I just want to do good films. That's it. And good characters.
Good answer. Good answer.
Commercial answer.
Your turn. No,
My turn.
commercial and socially relevant.
Yes, and socially relevant. Okay, so I've always wanted to know this, and actually now that I'm sitting next to you, why have you always written about mythology? What is it about mythology that you know that gets you so? And you have an interesting take to it as well. It's not just you're not just stating the facts. You have your own contemporary version of it. So I want to know why does this, because it is very interesting, but what for you makes it so interesting?
As compared to
say a regular romance or like
yeah.
an autobiography or something like that. I don't know.
I think mythology actually kind of works like how our traditional masala movies used to be. Everything is in there. Romance hai, tragedy hai, drama hai, wars hai, philosophies bhi hai. So you can actually have fun and you can learn. And one of the things that I have learned in reading so many of our ancient texts, the stories of our gods are really cool, man.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about my books. I'm saying even in the traditional things, they are really cool. You have a lot of fun reading it. You have
A lot of layers, yeah.
Lot of layers. You learn a lot too. You have fun and you learn a lot. I think I just have fun writing it. I'm lucky that actually people like reading it as well. Otherwise, I'll have to go back to banking. So this is a boring job.
No, which is I won't say that. Good bankers are doing that. It's a good job, guys.
My turn. Why doesn't Bollywood make mythological films? And if you wanted to play a mythological character, which one would it be?
I'll answer the latter half of your question first.
Okay.
Since we're launching Sita, I think I should play Sita. And I think we should have this book itself where you learn about Sita before she was kidnapped and before she was taken away, because it's so interesting to see how she came into being, the fact that she was a warrior, what all she did. She was a protector, so to speak. So I would love to play that avatar, especially because I've never played it before in my life. And coming back to mythology, I don't think, I don't know the facts right, but I know that we have tried to touch upon it in various different ways. Maybe not through a full feature film, but definitely through television. And I hear that there will be plans maybe in the future to kind of, have the Ramayana or the Mahabharata. I hear, I'm not sure, but I hear. Not for me, but in the world.
You are letting out too much though.
No, I'm not letting out. I'm just saying maybe, because you're right. There's so much to talk about here, and it can be so amazing.
And it's great fun.
Yeah.
It's great fun to read. Your turn.
Okay. Now coming to my next question. Since we've spoken about mythology, what I loved about the Shiva trilogy was that it was you really portrayed Lord Shiva in a very, for the lack of a better word, cool way. We've always, and in a very contemporary way. So I want to know, have you done the same thing with Sita Ma? Is she going to be like cool and edgy? And she's lovely, we all know that. But what is the difference that we're going to see in her this time?
The version of Sita Ma that most of us modern urban Indians, think is Sita Ma is actually a 1980s television serial.
Correct.
Okay, which was made by Ravanand Sagarji. And that has defined her in our minds. There are actually ancient versions, more ancient versions of the Ramayana, in which she is actually a warrior. In the Valmiki Ramayana, for example, she's a very tough cookie. Okay, you don't want to mess with her. In the Adbhut Ramayana, which is also written by Valmiki ji, she's a warrior, and guess who kills the elder Ravan in that version?
Who?
Not Lord Ram, it's Sita Ma.
Sita Ma?
She kills Ravan in the Adbhut Ramayana.
Super.
That was also written by Valmiki ji. So there are these.
So how do you know what is the? You don't know, right?
What is
there
the
are different
truth?
versions, yeah.
But that's the beauty of the Indian way, right? There is no one truth.
There is no one.
All of us have our interpretations of the truth. Sorry to inflict Sanskrit on you. There's this lovely line in the Rig Veda: "Ekam sat vipra bhavata vadanti." Truth is one, but the wise men speak it as many. There are many versions of the truth.
Nice.
And this is the Indian way.
I think it's very relevant for the girls of today. I think they will really connect with the book, and they will like this version, and they like the idea of Sita Ma actually defeating
as a warrior.
Yes.
Since we are speaking on that question, so that subject, this question is relevant to that. There is a criticism on Bollywood that stalking has been normalized, and that even heroes do it. And what are your thoughts on that? Is this something that
just to connect it to a personal experience, I recently did a film called Badrinath Ki Dulhaniya, and there were a lot of questions during our promotions. It's looking like ऐसा लग रहा है कि वरुण आपको stalk कर रहा है, आपको बद्री का character आपको stalk कर रहा है. We very clearly mentioned in our interviews that he's not stalking her, he is wooing her, and I think it's a matter of drawing that line.
Sure.
So we try to portray many things in Bollywood. Sometimes we have to show the fact that stalking does exist, but you have to counter it. कि उसका दंड भी मिलता है. There is a reaction to that. It's not good. And now, because it's the age of information, it's the age of technology, we can speak our minds. I can openly talk about what is wrong and what is not right. And that's what we did during our interviews. We very clearly said that, guys, yes, he's following her, he's wooing her, but please, eve teasing is wrong, stalking is wrong, and that's no way to woo a girl eventually. And you see that also in the film. She didn't fall in love with him because he was following her around everywhere. She fell in love with him because he actually behaved like a real man. So as long as you make that connect,
distinction,
that's what matters.
Fair point.
My turn?
I think your turn.
Okay, now I'm very curious to know about this, because I felt this always, that somehow, not always, but most of the times, the book and the film, when a book is made into a film, there's something lacking. The book has depth, it has that gravitas. Sometimes the film doesn't really pan out that way. Do you agree? Do you feel like there's a better way to work around making the book as good as the film? Making the film as good as the book. What do you think about that? And talk about maybe one book that was turned into a film that you really, really liked.
I think it's a different medium. Okay, the beauty of a book and the privilege of an author is we kind of just develop the scene. The reader actually fills in his
own
the colors
imagination
and imagination inside. So I might describe Lord Shiva exactly the same way in the Shiva trilogy. Everyone else will imagine him differently.
So it's the interpretation process.
Exactly, because when you read a book, you read your own version of the book. And
Correct.
Same book read by someone else, they read their own version. When in a movie that doesn't happen, you see only the director's version. Because the medium
that's
is
the
such,
interpretation.
exactly. The medium is such, it doesn't allow space for a viewer's imagination. The second thing is time. Okay.
I mean, a book can go on, and the film has
Exactly.
to
You
be
can
only
spend a
2.5
week,
hours.
10 days, so a rough rule of thumb from what I know, one page on a manuscript converts into 1 minute on screen. So like my books are rough rule of thumb, what I've been told. So my books are like on average 500, 600 pages. You convert it word for word into a
500 minutes.
It's like a 7-8 hour, that's a human rights violation. You can't release a 7-8 hour long movie. So you have to restrict it because of the nature of the medium. So you lose a lot of the nuances.
Fair enough.
But I think as long as you capture the soul of the book, that's good enough. Yeah, like look at Lord of the Rings. It captured the soul of the book.
Beautifully. Harry Potter.
Game of Thrones.
Game of
Of
Thrones.
Songs of Fire and Ice. But there actually, because it's a
But
series, right?
Game of Thrones also went away from the book.
Yeah, quite a lot.
But I think
but the
that's
author's involved.
yeah. It is also cinematic liberty, so that, and it's beautiful. We love it.
Fair enough.
Okay, your turn.
Now my turn. Oh yeah, this is a good one. One of the challenges of doing a book promotion, I'm 42, so there are many things that I'm kind of learning. So is taking a selfie. Okay, so my selfies look worse than a passport photograph. So what is the way to do it? What is the angle?
Well, you've come to the right place.
Okay.
I will have to say welcome to Selfistan. Selfistan is my Jan. The idea of taking a good selfie is the angle and the light.
Okay.
So now, most of the people don't understand that taking a selfie sometimes, while it can from the bottom can be nice, but that's if you have light above you. Because then you get a beautiful flare.
Okay.
But if you want to look slim and trim, which is what my purpose in life is constantly, please put the phone up
Okay.
and smile. And your selfie is done.
Okay, I shall do that. I don't have my phone here, but I will try and practice.
I'm a selfie pro, so whenever you need any help, just call me.
Done.
Okay, so I think my last question to you
True.
would be that now, since I have expressed my desire to be a part of Sita, let's hypothetically, because it's the Ramchandra series,
Yeah.
let's talk about the first book.
Okay.
Who would you cast as Ram? Come on.
Man, you caught me there. I have no clue. I haven't thought of it. How about
At the top of your head.
Ranveer Singh?
Nice.
Yeah?
Who would you cast
I
as
think
Sita?
he'll be good. You?
Now the third book's not out yet, so we'll wait for the third book to come out. Then I'll
Ravan is yeah.
Ravan's
The third book is on Ravan, so I'm
Yeah.
not so sure who should play it.
That'll be an interesting one.
It's a very interesting. I'm having a lot of fun writing it. I'm kind of a quarter of the way through in the book
Superb.
right now. So
I have
he's
to
one
say,
crazy character.
That's what I'm saying. I have to say that would be a very, very interesting part to play and a book to read. If I was a man, I would be Ravan. Okay.
And I think that so now just few more. Before we show the trailer to you guys, I wanted to present a copy of the book to you. This is the first one, Sign of Ikshvaku, and this Sita, Warrior of Mithila for you.
Ranveer Singh and Alia Bhatt.
There you go.